Morning, everyone. Well, probably afternoon by the time this goes live, but it is morning now. Obviously at home, and I'm taking this opportunity to answer some of the questions you guys have posted or emailed and things like that throughout the week. And after that, I wanted to speak about mindset. It's something that's kind of cropped up quite regularly with clients of mine and new clients who wanted to work with me. So I just thought I'd talk about that quite quickly. One of the more common questions I'm being asked, particularly with the alpha male program and alpha female and all the rest, is nutrient timing and both pre and post workout meals. We'll start with the pre, just easier. So pre-workout meals, everyone seems to think that they need to have carbs pre-workout because they think it gives them more energy. Why? Why? No, it doesn't. Carbs in your pre-workout meal are actually more of a hindrance than a benefit. Mainly because when we eat carbs, we have our insulin spike, right? We know this. So when we have that insulin spike, we know we're going to have that insulin drop, the sugar drop afterwards. So by the time you start training, so let's say you eat about an hour beforehand, before you work out, and you have your pre-workout meal with carbs, you are going to start training when you're on that insulin spike. So everything's going to be really, really slow. You're going to be really, really sluggish, and then you're going to try and work out. It doesn't make much sense, right? But I'm asking right, but expecting an answer. It doesn't make much sense. So hopefully you can see that. So pre-workout meals should always, in my view, be fats and protein based. Now, this doesn't mean to say you have to have a big, massive steak dinner with a massive amount of nuts and veg. It doesn't have to be a huge meal by any means, but it should be, no matter what it is, protein and fats based. You will have a bit of an insulinogenic response, so you will have a bit of insulin, but you won't have that crash. So you're properly fueled up for your workout. And besides, depending on the timing of your workout, so let's say, like most people, you'd work out in the evening. So your pre-workout meal should be a carbs-based meal. It takes a couple of hours, so about 3 to 4 hours, for your body to convert any carbohydrate that you take in to either glucose or glycogen. So having carbs pre-workout is a real hindrance. So you should have it the second last meal before your workout, and certainly post-workout then. So post-workout we're going to come on to in a minute. Another thing is the timing of it. It really depends. It's such a case-by-case thing. A typical pre-workout meal, again, like I said, for me is be some sort of meat with nuts and a little bit of some veg, roughly about 75 to 100 grams of veg. Now, everyone's going to metabolize foods and different foods at different rates, and this is where you become a little bit more intuitive with your body and see what works for you best. Now, for me personally, I naturally have quite a high metabolism. It's also something it's also quite high because I work out and I'm lean and all the rest. But I would normally have my pre-workout meal about an hour beforehand. Now, does that mean to say that this is where people get really, really anal and really, bogged down in the details and lose sight of the bigger picture? Does it mean that I have to push my workout back 10-15 minutes if I ate 45 minutes before my workout? No. I'm not that highly strong. It's absolutely fine for me. Now, work, life, everything, these things get in the way before on a day-to-day basis. So, it's not always going to be ideal. I'm not always going to be able to eat 1 hour before I work out, right? So, it's not the end. So my point is, it's not the end of the world. But for me, I know that if I eat roughly about an hour, I could also get away with an hour and a half. Before I work out, I'll be absolutely fine. I won't be hungry. My energy won't be low. I'll still feel properly fueled, so on and so forth. So, but it is something that is such a person-specific thing. You know, I have some clients who can't eat at least 2 hours beforehand. You know, different issues. You know, some of them digest food much slowly, much more slower. Sorry, get my words muddled up. Other people, they like having a smaller snack, a really small snack, almost like a half a tin of tuna with some veg, a half an hour beforehand. So everyone's really different in that respect. But and like I said, that's where you become intuitive. So an hour is kind of a good starting point, but you might need more time. So, you know, see how you feel during your workout. If you feel really sluggish and just really lethargic, then, you know, you take an educated guess. Next time use an hour and a half beforehand. So yeah, that's again a broad kind of guideline as to pre-workout meals. Post-workout, now a lot of you may have heard this anabolic window and your post-workout, and it never kind of fails to amuse me. I literally see fellas do their last rep, chuck the weights down, and sprint across the gym and to make sure they get their post-workout protein shake into them. For heaven forbid they miss this anabolic window. So for those of you who don't know what it is, the anabolic window is this window of which where our body's in this much more sensitive state because of the workout. You know, we've kind of beaten our bodies up a little bit, and anything that you give it, it's going to rapidly absorb and make the most out of. And yeah, it is true. We are in a much more sensitive state, no doubt. We've given our body a bit of a beating to our workout, and it needs to be refueled quickly. Now, up to recently, we were under the assumption that this anabolic window lasted for about 45 minutes to an hour. Otherwise, if you don't eat or if you don't get your protein shake or whatever, the workout's almost wasted. It's rubbish. Most people have thought this for a while, but only recently some really good research has come out from some top sports scientists that this window is much greater than what we actually first thought. So they're actually suggesting that this window is opened for up to about 6 hours. So we're not as restricted to that 1 hour as we first thought. But most people, like I said, I still see it, sprint across the gym floor, chuck all their supplements back, and making themselves feel rubbish just because, the anabolic window. Not at all. You still have plenty of time for your body to rapidly absorb everything that you're giving it in order to recover, repair, and get everything get nice and recovered for the next session, etc. So that's so post-workout. Well, so what should it entail? Post-workout shake. I personally like having a whey. I'm keeping my carbs quite low at the moment, but my carbs, when I do have them, are post-workout to help recover my glycogen stores from the workout. So when I take my carbs on board, it's not for the workout I just done. It's actually for the workout that I will do next. So I'm always playing ahead, if that makes sense. What should it be? So yeah, your protein shake or whatever your shake is, or if you do take a shake, will probably be the first thing. Usually it's easier. You can drink it, have it prepared. Yeah. Roughly afterwards, again up to I personally like again using an hour as a guideline. Post workout, I'll have again my certainly a protein and fats based snack or meal, whatever you want to call it, with a little bit more carbs. So whatever you decide to use. So potatoes, sweet potatoes, rice, pasta, whatever. So that post-workout window, which does exist, but not as much as people think, is the time that I'm not refueling from the workout I just done. I'm actually pre-fueling, as it were, for the next workout. Hopefully that makes sense. So Um, right. Well, so that's again, and it's a really, really big topic. I'm not going to go into the ins and outs of it today. I do these videos off the cuff, so I tend to go off point every now and then. But hopefully, that's a bit of a generalized view, or it gives you a bit more of an informed view of the pre and post workout meals and things like that. The other thing I wanted to talk about was mindset, and it's something that's popped up quite recently with people who've been emailing me and that are starting to want to work with me. The most common thing that is I hear when people they get into this really, really desperate state, and they're physically or mentally, they're really, really unhappy, and the first thing they'll say is, I'll do anything, I'll do absolutely anything. And that for me is a really, really dangerous state of mind to be in. And that is also where I find that where trainers or unscrupulous trainers make their living. They use this mindset to their advantage. So they make them buy, because this person is in a desperate state, they're willing to do anything. If next thing they hear someone saying, "Oh yeah, we can lose 2 stone in 2 months," blah, it's, and they may actually be able to do that, but you know what? They're probably going to have on like 500 calories a day, make them feel like shit, and the minute they stop training with them, they're going to balloon out and be in a whole lot worse situation from when they first started. So yeah, mindset. So they come with this I'm willing to do anything mindset, and to me it's a really, really dangerous point, because if you get them to do the most insane things, and because they're so desperate, they will do it. If you have them doing these crazy, crazy things that they're not ready for, it's a recipe for disaster. It's unsustainable, it's unhealthy, and it's unsafe. And like I said, that's where unscrupulous trainers make their living. For me, when I hear that state of mind, and when I hear that phrase, it's right, put the brakes on. I like giving clients bite-sized things to do first. So I make changes every 2 weeks. No, I make maximum two changes a week. And they could be almost innocuous things like drink more water, eat more veg, have a protein-based breakfast. These tiny little differences because I'll only make these tiny differences because if I overload them with, you have to eat this and you have to eat that and you have to train like this, it's a recipe for disaster. It'll never last, it's not sustainable, and it's unhealthy. So I like making these small little changes, and when they become much more comfortable with these changes, right, I'll add something else in. So the way I see it, I have this big toolbox of things that I'm able to use, but I don't use them all at once, right? So if my car has a flat tire, I don't start looking at the engine, do I? Right? I look at what I prioritize, and I change little things as I go along, so that they're in a much better, healthier state of mind. So. So what I suggest mentality-wise, I say, right, you got to chill out. First of all, we're able to do it. We're able to fix this. We're able to change. We're able to get the results that you want. But I really need you to chill out. All right. I don't want to kick your ass every day in the gym. I don't want you here for hours on end. I need you to chill out. That's the first thing I need to do. The second thing, they're really, really surprised to hear, is that I will only want them training about four maximum 5 times a week. So those are 4 pretty tough sessions, and 1, if they're able for it, medium to low intensity session. And these sessions, by the way, never last longer than an hour. And they're really, really caught off guard with this. And this is almost too good to be true. It is. It's not, because when they are training, they're going to train fucking hard, believe me. When they're not training, I want them to rest and recover. I want them to relax. I don't want them to be in the gym going for low, medium intensity sessions for hours on end. Why not just go less and hit it harder, right? Makes more sense. So that's instantly they're kind of caught off guard, and they're like, why do you only want me training 4 hours? Well, it's all you need. If you're training hard and training smart, it's all you need. And then the second thing is that they're really, really surprised, right? When I look at their calories and I divide up their macros and things like that. Now, I'm doing that on my end. They don't know that yet because, again, I don't want them to think about calories. I don't want them to think about their macronutrient intake, anything like that. But these are things that I'm looking at in the background and just drip feeding them through without them having to worry and stress about it. So I will look to, first of all, stabilize calories. Well, depending if they're, so a lot of the time, most overweight people have not enough calories in their diet. As stupid as that sounds, now that's probably a talk for another day. But I'll change the quality of their foods, basically. So I try and get them away from packaged stuff, pre-made stuff, things like that, and trying to get onto proper food. And when I get to that point, now that could be a couple of weeks down the line. Now, when I get them to that point, they're always shocked at how much food they can eat. And they're like, this can't be right. But it is, if you think about it. If they're eating proper foods from the land, so lean meats, poultry, fish, veg, nuts, seeds, fruit, things like that. These are high turnover foods, right? So your digestive system, your metabolism is able to turn them over quite quickly. Now, if you're giving it more and more, what happens? Your metabolism goes up, right? Again, I'm asking questions expecting an answer here. But yeah, your metabolism goes up. So they're quite surprised at how much food, and they're like, how am I meant to lose weight with so much food? But they do. Because, like I said, I'm able to ramp their metabolism up back to where it should be, their basal rate, through food, just foods alone. Now, that doesn't happen straight away. Again, I'm kind of skipping a couple of weeks ahead here, but hopefully you can see that. So what I like, kind of coming back to mindset, is I like doing things in small chunks, because if I overload them, it's not going to be sustainable. They're not going to last, and they're going to end up in a whole lot worse situation when they first started. Like, if you ever look at the stats on dieting and weight loss throughout the world, we, especially as a nation, but across the world, we don't have a problem. We don't have a weight loss problem. Right? I know obesity is at an all-time high, right? But we don't have a weight loss problem. People lose weight every single day. The problem is we have a keeping it off problem. All right? So why that is that thousands and thousands of people lose weight every day, but they can't keep it off. And the studies suggest, or actually they don't suggest, the stats tell us that these people would have been better off not dieting than they are now, compared to they are now, right? So it's crazy to think that all these magazine articles, all these products, all things, I don't want to name names, but systems, as it were, that, drink this shake for breakfast, have this lettuce leaf for lunch type shite, they actually do so much more harm than good, right? These people who do these courses and things like that, they end up worse than when they first started. So we don't have a weight loss problem. We lose weight every day. We have a massive problem keeping it off. And it's a big, big difference. And that's why I try and impress upon these people who come to me with this I'll do anything mindset, or like, right, good, I'm glad you're willing to do anything, because you're obviously at a state of desperation, but that would be really, really easy for me to take advantage of. And I refuse to. Because I take this responsibility quite seriously, to be totally honest with you. So they come to me, and I just tell them, right, this is a really dangerous mindset, and this is where the point where I could have you training, for 10 hours a week, and you will lose a bit of weight, and then we stop training together, and you will balloon back up. And a lot of people, they say, oh, well, I just want to lose weight quickly, and I lose out on a lot of clients from that. Now, fortunately, I'm in a position where I'm not desperate for clients, so that's another topic, but I can only be honest with these people. I will tell them that all I want to do is put in systems or educate them in training and in nutrition so that when we stop working together, they can carry on as they are. It's sustainable. So I'm always trying to impress upon them the sustainability and the longevity of what we do together. And that's where that's what I'm always trying to tell them when they come up to me. I'm willing to do anything. Cool, right. But you don't have to. Let's make small changes and progress. It's really, really simple. So, again, it's something I can go on about all day. I'll try not to. Only because I'm home alone today, which is always dangerous. And I could end up talking about this for hours. So, but like I said, any trainer or anyone who suggests to totally overhaul everything all at once it's just not working. It won't work. It's unsustainable and it's unhealthy. Make small little changes and keep them. So, for example, like I said, first thing I do is tell people, right, how much water do you drink? And say, so on average, about half a litre a day. Right, let's try and push that up to 1 litre a day. And we're like, right, that's it. That's it. It sounds so easy, right? It sounds painfully easy. And it's not like water has this magical weight loss formula. It doesn't. We know that keeping hydrated is vitally important and helps with weight loss, but it doesn't have fat burning properties. So all I tell them, right, drink a bit more water, and we keep that, we make that a habit, right? So now, for the next week or so, been drinking 1 litre a day, brilliant, right. Next week, I want you to drink 1.5 litres and at least have, with 2 meals, have at least 100 grams of green veg. And they're like, that's it. Easy. So, right. So, 2 weeks later, how are you getting on? Brilliant. I've been having spinach and broccoli for my lunch, and I've had a salad with, rocket and kale, whatever. So, right, brilliant. Let's have 3 meals with greens, with 100 grams of green veg. All right, cool. So I'm constantly progressing these small little changes because they won't, if I tell them, right, you have to eat 100 grams of veg 5 times a day and you have to drink 3 litres of water, they'll fucking bust. They'll explode. And what will happen? They'll say, this is too hard for me. No. They'll drop off straight away. And what happens? They'll end up in a way worse situation than what they are. So, if you are taking on changes for fat loss or muscle gain or whatever your aims and goals are, do it in small bite-sized chunks. Break it down. Don't overload yourself. It'll never last. Don't promise yourself, I'm going to run every day before work and I'm going to train then in the evenings. You won't, especially if you haven't done that type of thing before. You can build up to that, definitely, but don't pressure yourself. Don't stress yourself. It'll never, never last. Small progressions, constant progressions will get you there a hell of a lot quicker and a hell of a lot safer than trying to do everything all at once. All right, it really is a case of, running before you can walk. It really, really is. It's that simple. So, thanks for listening to me. I just realised how scruffy I look today. The mole is coming along quite nicely. I'm going to shave afterwards. I'm just out of the gym, so I'll be a little bit more respectable later. Thank you to everyone who has donated. I really, really appreciate it. I'm going to keep posting the link to until the end of the month. Everyone pretty much knows Movember. It's a huge, huge cause. It's absolutely fantastic. And yeah, that is about everything. Again, thank you for everyone who's commented and emailed me about questions, things like that. I really, really appreciate them. I'm pretty sure I missed out on a few, so I will catch up with those during the week. And yeah, any questions, any comments, please write them down below in underneath the video here on YouTube. And feel free to check me out on Facebook. It is VC Fitness, as well as Twitter at VC Fitness. Cool. So that's me signing off. Have a great day. Bye.